Hello, welcome to workshop number 2. My name is Robert Miller and I do our workshops for the Self-Guided program that I created. And there are 5 self-guided programs, but the self-guided programs is a product we use that doesn't have a one-on-one coach, but rather the client goes through a program like My Leadership by themselves. They have tutorial videos, they have a very in-depth workshop program that is a framework, and they have these workshop videos. And so the purpose of the videos is to have a conversation, not an explanation and not an experience. Is to unpack different key elements, core elements of our programs and our methodology. And so in workshop 1 we looked at activation, reflection, integration, and today we're going to look at somatic stimulation. This is something I do with my clients on a regular basis. If you're in the My Success program, I will do it without you overtly being aware, and that's how I read a room, is activate your subconscious to get below, because that's below your subconscious. And so I can activate your subconscious by somatically, by stimulating your nonverbal, your physical nonverbal. How do I do that? We all have a primitive, this intelligence, whether it's in the gut or you think of that sort of reptilian brain. We have this more basic intelligence, the feelings that we just know because we feel rather than know something's there, something's true. And your gut, your sixth sense, this primitive survival instinct. People who can read a room, read nonverbal language, are adept at reading this primitive instinct, the signals it sends off, the nonverbal cues, the physical cues that are very clear, unguarded communication from a human being. What I find amazing is my Instincts program, which is part of the Self-Guided, the 2 programs, My Now and My Room. People pay to do the full $10,000, and partly because they really want to learn how to read a room the way I do, the way the coaches do. They want to learn how to read people more accurately, more effectively. And what I found, I just finished someone's $10,000 20-session program today, and I reminded them, hey, it's much more valuable to read yourself than other people. Let me say that again. It's much more valuable to be able to read accurately how you feel than it is how other people feel. I am very good at reading a room, but I am better at reading me. And so what I want you to get is X marks the spot, and the most relevant piece of information in any room is first, how do I feel? And then, how do you feel? And if I know how you feel, I will have cues to direct me to how you're thinking. So let me say that again. If I know how I feel and you feel, I will have an accurate pathway, a map to lead me to how you think and what you're thinking right now. And a pretty accurate read on people's thoughts. What are they thinking? I think they're thinking this. Why? Because I feel this. And so first I've got to center me and be able to read me before I read you. How do we do that? Well, somatic, I want you to think hunter-gatherer. I want you to think of that sort of prehistoric hunter-gatherer who lived by their instincts. And so all of the imagery that comes with the workshops when we do somatic have that primitive feel. We strip away all the distractions to allow you to pay attention to how you feel as you do the program, or even how you feel right now listening to this video. So pause the video for a second and do this exercise with me. So listen to me when I say pause the video, pause the video. Take a minute, take a lot of minutes. After you do the exercise, come back on and I'll be talking, okay? Here's what I want you to do. After I tell you this, pause the video. Put your hand on your chest, whatever your dominant hand is, okay? So my right hand, put it on my chest. Close my eyes. Just sit with how you feel. and then give it a word, a description, a sentence. I feel stressed. That's how I feel right now. Oh, what I think the reason for that is, that's a different step in the exercise. But first of all, I feel stressed. I also feel really curious about what the next thing is. There's an opportunity out there. I need to find it. Oh, what I really am is in predator mode, discovery mode. There's an opportunity I'm hunting for. What I feel isn't stress, it's the attentive, on, heightened experience of hunting. I'm ready for the next opportunity. I'm on the hunt. That's what I feel. And I can explain why and what's been happening today that puts me into that discovery mode rather than defense mode. Now pause the video. Dominant hand on your chest. Breathe. Feel, don't think. Feel for what's there. As you begin this exercise, too much will happen. Cacophony of noise. You won't be able to find that crystal clear note of relevance. Takes training. But like any habit, any skill, repetition is your friend. Persevere. Try to put words around what you feel. If there's a lot of noise, lean into all of that noise and then go, pick one of them. Really curious if any of you have paused the video and done the exercise. Back home in Ireland, we have a saying, it's better felt than told. The experience is always much more profound than the explanation. You can watch me do this all day long and get no insight into how to do it. The only way to learn how to do this is pause the video and do it. It's that simple. Why do we do this? Why is the second most critical thing I want to teach you about guiding yourself through these programs is how to read what you feel. These videos are in black and white. I am deliberately making this unprofessional. If you're wanting some highly produced video of a guru explaining the mystery and the magic of the programs we sell, you should go to some other website. You are in the wrong place with the wrong man. There is no mystery here. There is no magic. It is incredibly mundane. Put your hand, your dominant hand on your chest and give a pause and a breath and try to feel what you feel. Pay attention to how you feel. If you do that regularly, you will become adept at noticing how you feel. If you can pay attention to how you feel, you will become more aware of what you think and how much of what you think is subconsciously categorized rather than consciously calculated. But to begin it, you must start at the gut level, the somatic level. You must become more primitive. And from that, you can reach the more civilized, higher functions of how you think. But first, how do you feel? Every session in every program has a pause, reflection moment where we ask you, we tell you, I tell you to stop. Put your dominant hand on your chest, breathe, then check how you feel, and we offer some guided questioning about that session. What's coming up? When I was 30, I thought I had all the right answers. Not feel, I knew I had all the right answers. 10 years of working in the field in really complex places, in different cultures and different nationalities, I discovered, wow, I think I have all the, and now I know I have all the right questions. Questions are really powerful. And there's a mystery to that. Like, wow, if you can ask the right question, just magic. I used to train people, first of all, how to have all the right answers, and then as I got older, how to have all the right questions. I turned 55 in a couple of weeks, and I now know that ignorance is the right stance. I don't know. The reason why somatic is your go-to starting is somatic doesn't know anything, it only feels something. If you begin by not knowing and asking yourself, where am I? How do I feel? You will enter into the exploration of what you think from a place of ignorance, a starting point of ignorance. If you begin with solutions, that is as far as you get. If you begin with really, really good questions, you get a little further, but still there's a dead end. If you begin with ignorance, it can lead to some extraordinary insights of both how you feel and what you think, increasing both your attention and your awareness by the simple habit of stopping and feeling how you feel from a place and an origin of ignorance. Your ancestors didn't know, and so they found out a lot of things that they didn't know because they began with, I don't know where the saber-toothed tiger is. I don't know where I'm going to eat tomorrow. They had a level of ignorance and uncertainty that we would find intolerable, yet they were able to do things that we can no longer do. Their level of self-sufficiency is extraordinarily higher than the average civilized human being, including me. Their capacity to survive without help or infrastructure was phenomenally higher than ours. Their tolerance for discomfort was significantly higher than ours. Their quality of life was significantly higher in happiness. They had the ability to begin with ignorance. That's the topic of today. Dominant hand on your chest with the question, I don't know how I feel, I wonder how I feel, and then feel how you feel, and it will lead you to know where you are right now. Begin with ignorance. It is probably the biggest thing I can teach you beyond the activation, reflection, integration process we use, the model we use. We begin with ignorance. I begin with ignorance. It's why I'm so good at what I do. I interact with you as a client. I don't know. And I never know. And we discover together what I ought to know. Thank you very much.